Hi everybody. Hello. Welcome to Galaxy System's Bad Anime Review Time. Yes. I've been wanting to do this for forever. Well, to be fair, I've been wanting to review anime and plays that I watch and movies and books and all the things. That's what I like talking about. So what is bad anime review? Well, is it that the anime is bad? Yes. Is it that the review is bad? Yes, probably. Is it that the bad is bad? Also yes. So, besides enjoying reviewing things, as many of you know, I'm putting in my best effort to learn Japanese. It's hard, obviously, especially because, you know, it's always like limited time, limited money, etc. But I have a bit more time now than I used to, so that's why I'm trying to put in an effort. And I think I mentioned it on stream, but basically, I passed the N5 last December, and I'm going to try for N4 this coming December. In the US, unfortunately, ever since COVID, they stopped giving the test twice a year, so I can only take it in December. To that point, I'm trying to figure out different ways to practice my Japanese. And you might be wondering, Galaxy, what does this have to do with your bad anime review? Well, I'm trying to have a bit more focus and be consistent, is to basically watch anime without subtitles. But the problem with that is that, well, I like watching anime. So if it's an anime that I genuinely want to see, I don't want to watch it with subtitles because I want to know what's going on. And a lot of the anime I like, if it's more like, you know, like complicated, what they're talking about, I need the subtitles because I can't understand it. Like, I can understand basic conversation pretty well, but not more complex stuff than that. Like, I noticed that in Attack on Titan, when I was watching it, I could barely understand anything. Like, if I didn't use the subtitles, I couldn't follow what they were saying. But most anime, if they're just saying like, oh, hi, how are you, blah, 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 I can follow that fine. It's more when they get into stuff that's a bit more complex. And you're thinking, okay, that still doesn't explain what's going on here. So I decided, I've been doing this for a while, actually, but I haven't been consistent. So I'm hoping that if I review it, it'll be consistent. Or I'll do one review and never do one again. That would be sad. Hopefully that's not the case. I decided, okay, let me watch anime that I'm not that interested in, because then if I don't follow everything they're saying, I don't care. So I've done this with a few different anime. I usually don't finish them because I'm not that invested in them, but I'll watch like a few episodes, or I'll watch like half a season little by little, and I'll see how much I can pick up of it. So the one that I picked up this time is an isekai because, as some of you may know, I really like isekai, and I actually genuinely, ironically, I don't know, I like bad isekai. So even though I like good isekai, that's what I'm really searching for, I also like some bad isekai. The ones that are like, why does this even exist, you know? So there's been a few that I've watched over the years that are just terrible. And there's some other non-isekais I've watched that are also terrible. But the one I picked recently, it is not good. Even with my limited, I would say pretty limited Japanese, what I can understand is trash. It's so bad. It's bad. But look, the point is, I watch the episodes without any subtitles, and I try to genuinely understand what they're talking about. Now, after the first episode, I did check the wiki so I could see like what happened in that episode to see how much I picked up. And most of it I did get correct. There was only one thing I didn't get correct, which is that one character was the main character's brother. But after that, I was like, you know, I don't even think I want to do that. I might change my mind later. But for now, I haven't checked anything online. I'm just continuing to watch it with little to no information because sometimes my version of what's happening in the show is better than the show. I'm just saying. But look, the point is to have fun, to make fun of an anime that's very bad, and really it's for me to practice my Japanese and get better at speaking Japanese. For you all, you just get the review and the fun, hopefully. If any of you have actually watched this though, I would be curious to know how close or how far off I am from what's actually happening. Because like I said, after the first episode, I stopped checking the wiki. So as of today, I've seen the first 3 episodes, I believe. Let me check. I'm trying to find my notes because I actually took notes. Because if I didn't take notes, I'd forget what the plot was about. Not really, but I forget enough to not be able to talk to you about it. Oh, here. Oh my god, I skipped by it. It was like the first thing. Okay. Yeah, I've seen the first 3 episodes. I'm hoping I can get myself to watch the rest, or at least more just for practice sake. What is this anime called? Well, you've been staring at it this whole time, so you probably already know. In English, the title is I'm a noble on the brink of ruin, so I might as well try mastering magic. I know the title sounds ridiculous and looks ridiculous, but from what I remember from the anime, the Japanese logo of the anime actually looks pretty similar. Botsuraku yotei no kizoku dakedo hima datta kara maho wo kimi wa moto mita. Sure, that's what it's called in Japanese. That totally made sense. So let's get into it, okay? Let me put this away. You don't need to see this. Look, it's an isekai. What are you expecting, right? Person dies, goes to another universe, is super powerful, has a bunch of girls for some reason. This is my understanding of episode 1. The main character person talks to an angel spirit thing. This person is probably a sad office worker because they're always sad office workers. I mean, makes sense. Oh no, he's a noble kid down in the line. Wait, you know, he's like far down in the succession thing because there's like a billion brothers or some bullshit like that. But wait, magic exists. And he's like, hey, I told that spirit angel thing when I died that what I wanted was magic. So then he gets really into studying it. And wow, he finds a library. And hey, maybe he's not that bad at this magic thing. Oh my God. And now he's reading and reading and reading and he has more power and he's better. And wow, amazing library magic. That's what happens in the episode. But then he ends up in the forest, and then there's like stranger danger problem. This random older dude shows up because this kid is pretty young. So when he reincarnated as probably like a 40 plus office worker, because they're always that age and they're always an office worker, he was like a young kid. He looked like a preteen, but I don't know how old he actually is because anime, it's hard to tell. So who knows what happened to the actual soul of that dude when this new dude came into the body. Oh well, he's dead. So yeah, so he's in the woods and there's stranger danger and literally the guy is like hiding and stalking Protakun, right? But then Protakun's maid comes by. He's like, wait, I'm gonna teach you, kid, how to summon things. And then he's like, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to use different spells at once. And there's some weird explanation that I didn't fully understand that I think was about doing different spells at the same time and you had to do them in order. And there was like a whole thing about it. It was like, oh, first do this spell, that's number 1, and then do this one, that's number 2, and then do this one, that's number 3. And you have to do them in order, but apparently the more the spells that you're doing at the same time, the harder it is, right? Okay. But actually, this kid can already do a lot of the spells in order. And actually, Stalker guy, who is now his teacher, and he's calling Shisho or Master, I don't even know. I don't remember. But basically, he's like, thank you so much, random stranger, for teaching me how to make this magic stuff. Cool, awesome. Okay, bye, teacher. Okay, bye. And this is a small child that now has all of the powers, obviously. Then the kid is like, I'm gonna make some ramen. And I guess he tries to sell it, but for some reason he can't. And then this blonde guy is like, no! And he's pulling all the strings in the background. He's like, you ain't gonna sell none of your ramen here. So that blonde guy is the one who I didn't completely understand. And I found out it's his older brother.
I was not expecting that.
That's the only thing I got from the wiki, where I guess his older brother thinks that his much younger brother, who's really far down the line for secession, is like trying to prove his worth, so he'll overpass his older brother. But he's actually more like, no, I'm just gonna use magic because I died and I want to use magic, and also ramen. I think the ramen he was trying to make was instant ramen. I don't know. He just had a lot of noodles and he's trying to sell it. And then the kid makes some clone of himself to sell ramen. And then I don't really understand, is the clone of you like a real person or not? And then why is the clone going off? And then is the clone making the ramen? Is the clone just selling the ramen? Will the clone disappeared? And then maybe he'll make mayonnaise next, because as you know, mayonnaise is a very important staple of any isekai, right?
What do you mean by that?
People always make mayonnaise and then everyone's like, oh my God, oh my, and then they're like, mayonnaise is the best thing in the world, even though it doesn't keep very well once you open it. So I don't know what they're doing, but because none of these places have fridges. But basically they're like, wow, we've never had mayonnaise before, it's like the most amazing sauce. And then that's how people make money. Oh yeah, so I forgot to say, Protakun's name is Liam Hamilton. My name is Liam Hamilton. That's the wrong song. What's the Hamilton song? What's your name, kid? What's your name, kid? Liam Hamilton. My name is Liam Hamilton, and I got 100 powers I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna get a harem in the next episode. Okay, anyway, episode 2. So, Liam then goes to some sort of guildish place, and he's so strong. He's already rank B. Wow! Enter the wow sound. Then he meets someone maybe called Azuna. I think that's her name. I don't know. It's a blonde girl. She joins him, and then yay, they're friends now, and yay, friendship and beating up monsters, and that's amazing. And then this old guy approaches him, and I think he's trying to get him to marry one of his daughters, which might be a princess, maybe a servant of royalty. I wasn't sure. Then something about business. I couldn't understand it. Okay, I don't know. And he says no. He says no. I don't want to marry your princess. I don't want something business or money because. Who knows? I don't know. I didn't understand. Anyway, he learns about making people his slaves or familiars or whatever. At least that's what I understood.
What? What the fuck?
And I think they were like, all you have to do is exchange bodily fluid for a kiss, and then mana, and then a special skill thing happens once you're a slave. Which is kind of like Rising of Shield Hero, right? It reminded me of that. Look, keep in mind, anything I get wrong, blame my poor Japanese skills. Anyway, Azuna gets some super fast thing. Because she's like, oh my god, please make me into your slave. Oh my god, I would love that. Please, let's exchange bodily fluids. And he's like, yeah. And then she's like, wow, now that I'm your slave, I'm like super fast. That's like awesome. And then the Shinto priest looking girl, who I think is Azuna's friend. I didn't really understand. I don't know why she looks like a Shinto priestess, but she gets food, or no, she gets healing magic, but like that she can put in the food that she makes or something. And then, you know what she does after that? Guess what she does? She makes a sandwich. Actually, she makes multiple sandwiches. Because she's like, did you ever want your waifu to make you a sandwich who's also your slave, who's also a priestess, who's also going to do whatever you want, who can also heal you? I am that waifu. I have made you the sandwich. Wow! Now she's also his slave, and they've also exchanged bodily fluids, and now she can make magical sandwiches. Anyway, now the people in the guild bar thing, they were all like, ah, what? Huh? And it was really funny because like the animation, they kept flashing back to everyone in the guild having these stupid ass faces, as in like they were like badly drawn surprise faces, and I thought it was really funny. And then the teacher guy, who was kind of a stalker in the woods, apparently left Liam a present, because I forgot to say that in the last episode he gave Liam a ring because maybe Liam is his waifu. I don't really understand. And then the old dude was like, oh my god, because you have that ring, maybe you're so-and-so student. I don't know what the name of that guy is. They go under this pond lake thing, and then he filters gold out of it because, I don't know, item box, and I don't know, gold, and it's filtered, and I'm amazing now because I can put all the water of the lake into a thing and filter it and get gold. I don't know, dude. And then there's a secret room under the water of the lake, which is like amazing. And then he found this book called Another Wado, which is another world. And then a secret room unlocks through a mirror. Wow, magic. When the ending song came on, because in the first episode, you know, they only show you the opening as the ending, and you don't usually see the ending song until the second episode. So when I saw the ending song for the first time, I was like, oh, this is clearly a harem anime, which is unfortunate because I don't really like harem anime. The only time I like harem anime is if they're well done and if they're poly, which is extremely rare. For some reason, all the girls have current day, aka modern clothes in the ending, which was really confusing to me. But also there's this wolf/cat girl who's actually pretty cute, but she might be final girl because she's the focus of the ending. So maybe she's the one he's supposed to end up with forever. Oh yeah, while all this stuff was happening through the episode, I think mostly through the lake thing maybe, or when he was in the room, I don't remember. The old dude that was around before that was like, hey, marry my daughter /princess/ who knows. He had like a secret maid that was following him and listening to everything. Oh, but then the blonde dude was like causing trouble again because he's like, my brother is trying to take over my kingdom, even though the main character is like, I don't know who you are, dude. Episode 3. The girls are happy and grateful to their owner. God. Let's say friend, special friend, for their superpowers. Yay! The older brother glares at him and throws a tantrum because he's like, wow, my younger brother's doing all this stuff and he also has cute slaves. Oh my god. Older brother, what did I write? Older brother takes noble house to, oh yeah. He takes the noble house as in like all the people from his house. You know what I mean? Like all the servants and all the people who are under his banner? Is that the right way to put that? To go beat up a dragon, but he gets his ass beat instead. Oh no! But then Liam comes by and he murders or maybe imprisons the dragon's kids. I was very confused. I'm like, are you just killing all these dragon babies? Maybe. But when he does that, magicians who are there subdue the dragon. And the dragon is like, thank you so much for murdering my kids. I really appreciate that. I hated those little bastards. And then... I'm doing the best I can. And then the dragon is like, you're strong and special. Tell everyone that I'm not their enemy and I'm inside of you now. Yes, the dragon like becomes a part of Liam and like, I can't say possesses him. The other way around. I feel like he's like, I give myself to you, Liam. I will now be inside of your brain body as like an additional power. And then Liam gets a cool dragon tattoo on his hand. Oh my god. He uses magic, but it's too strong for everyone, except for his slave girlfriends and the guildmaster. Oh my god. And then Liam says, hey bro, you good? Because his bro was like almost dead, the blonde one. And then bro is madder, but weak and cries angry tears. That's legitimately my note that I wrote to myself. Anyway, the princess shows up. Oh yeah, and I think at some point I realized that the secret maid spy that was watching him was the princess. Because it seemed like it, and then she made a reveal. If I remember, she did some sort of reveal, and then her hair came out, and she's like, I'm a princess! And the princess also wants to sleep with him, because of course she does. But the princess says, hey, thank you for murdering all those dragons. Here's some gold for your poor-ass noble house, because if you remember, the reason that this all started is because he's poor. Let's remember what the title is. Let's remember, I'm a noble on the brink of ruin, so I might as well try mastering magic. So the two girls on the bottom, well, the one on the bottom is the Shinto priestess one that makes you magical sandwiches. The one that's to the right of her is the one who maybe is called Azuna, who's super fast now. And the one who's like by his arm, that's the princess. See, she has long princess hair. That's how you can tell. Don't mind that all the girls have long hair. And the one above him, I don't know who that is. Is that the guild person or maybe it's someone else? The wolf girl isn't on here, so you don't get to see her. Too bad. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, thanks so much for giving me gold and money because I did need that for my house. But actually, the item box thing that I use that filtered out all the lake water into gold is now like pissing gold on all of us. That's what it looks like. And now the guildmaster, wait, what did I say? The item box peed gold for the guildmaster earlier from that lake from last time. That makes sense. Also, the baby dragons are actually alive, and I think he shoved them into the item box again or something, and maybe they can just live in there forever even though they can't, the air would run out and they have no food or water or bathroom, but that's fine because they're alive now and they love him and they're like, you should ride us, Liam, ride us. Yay, the end of episode 3. I don't know what else happens yet. What I would assume is that he keeps being super powerful magic and whatever, and he keeps adding girls to the harem. We haven't met the wolf/cat girl yet, who might be final girl. But that's all we know for now. I hope you enjoyed my bad anime review of episodes 1, 2, and 3 of, I gotta pull this up again, I can't remember the name ever. I'm a noble on the brink of ruin, so I might as well try mastering magic. Wow! Oh my god, it's so bad. But you know, because it's so bad is why I can mostly follow what everybody's saying. If not, I wouldn't be able to. All right, everyone, I'll see you all next time on the next anime review. Bye-bye! Why are you still here? There's nothing left. There's nothing left in here.